Hey everyone, Richard here, and I got an important tip I want to share with you about recruiting. Right, if you're a home business owner like I am, you need to build a team, right, in order to get the biggest benefits from your home business, right? You want to be able to recruit people to do that. And I see an error being made a lot of occasions, which really does destroy your ability to bring people into your team. So I kind of want to discuss that right now really quickly and then let you implement that very quickly into your business, especially with the new year coming up, right? You want to be in a position where you feel you're strong, you're firing on all cylinders before you go in and ruin your game, right? So what I want to talk about is presumption. Okay, presumption is very powerful, or it can be very negative, and it's based upon your beliefs. So a lot of you, when you enter into a conversation, I just literally got off of Facebook and was giving one of my team members some tips on this, and this is why I want to cover this with you, kind of brought it to my attention, is a lot of the times when we haven't had success ourselves, there's this negative kind of presumption that other people won't as well. Maybe we don't like to admit it, but deep down, maybe that's the truth. Let me kind of dive into this and how I used to do it, and maybe you can benefit from it and recruit more people into your business. See, before I'd ever had a single team member in my team or made a product sale, and when I was just getting no, right? We've all been there. Maybe you're going through it right now. We presume that that is what other people are going to be, that's going to be their experience, right? We presume that, okay, well, I can't make this work and I'm working really hard, so perhaps the people who I bring into this will face that same difficulty. And of course, you've got to ask yourself if that's actually the truth or if that's just our presumption. See, I brought people into my team, hundreds of people now, and a lot of them have done a lot better than me. Sometimes I kind of expected it, sometimes I didn't. It was a big surprise. So you never know what someone's going to see in the opportunity or your product and how hard they're going to run with it. The lady who I won't mention her name, I haven't asked her about it, but the conversation I was just having, the lady, my team member, she picked out one of the, like a tiny slight possible issue with something that the person maybe brought up that hadn't even brought it up yet. And she said, what happened? What should I say about this? I said, why would you bring that up? Has she brought it up? She said, no. I said, well, why would you bring that up? Focus on her wants, her desires, how the ability to travel more with our product is, what that's going to feel like. And, you know, if it'd be the same in your company, right? You can make so many sales and wipe out your auto ship, or you can make even more sales and the product is free. We have that ability in my company. I said, why are you presuming that she won't hit those numbers? So you don't even need to talk about price, because if she literally shares it with a few people, she can go on vacation for free. You're kind of over here, way down here, saying, wow, this is going to be difficult. And I'm saying, why not look for the positives? See, she was presuming that the issues that she'd faced, her prospect was going to face too, and that's just not the case. Presumption can also work for you. Whenever I enter into, and I advise you to do the same, whenever you enter into a conversation with your prospects or the public or your team members or anybody, you should presume the best outcome. I presume when I sit in front of somebody, people say, well, how do you close so many people? Exactly. Chris says, always take a positive. You should do that. Whenever I sit in front of someone to present my business or any product, I expect the sale. I'm not saying that I would force the sale. That's completely different. But I'm positive, and at the end of it, I'm like, okay, so you're in then. Because why would they not? And that comes about from the belief that I have in what I represent, the company, the product. So you need to get that. Take a look at the product or business that you're representing, that you're sharing with people. And if you're not quite there with your belief yet, make it happen. Go to the next event. Get another product testimonial. Look at the leaders and the stories of their backgrounds, where they came from, the struggles that they faced. Look at why it is that you individually don't feel that level of belief yet. What is it that you're doing to kind of cause that to suffer? Because people can smell it off of you. Think about that, right? You can walk into a room. Imagine this. You walk into a room, and you can tell if there's been an argument or if it's a happy environment, even before you even look at anybody's body language, right? You can just pick it up. You walk into a room and you go, wow, what's, like, cut it with a knife, right? Tension in here. Your prospects will feel that from you. If you're fearful for their results before they've even got started, if you feel that it's going to be a negative experience for them, if you feel that no one could possibly do better than you, well, then that's what they're going to pick up on. Here's one quick final tip I want to share with you. If you're getting the same objection, right? So maybe some of you type in the objections, and I'll do a little bit of objection handling. If, you know, we've got a few people on here, so if you want me to handle a particular objection, I'm happy to do that with you because that's linked to the recruiting as well. If not, no big deal. But if you're getting the same objection over and over again, so if you're thinking, why does everybody say to you, I don't have the money? Or why does everybody, or the most common excuse is they don't have the time? If you're getting one excuse or objection repeatedly, it's you, not them. And that's really, really powerful because it gives you control, right, to adjust that tactic. What I highly suggest that you do, what I do with my team members is I say, hey, listen, if you're getting that same objection over and over again, what I want you to do is I want you to present to your significant other or a friend or a team member and record the audio. So sit down, don't change it because you know you're going to send that audio to an upline or to a coach. Don't change it, just set the audio going and do exactly what you would do with a team member or a significant other as though they were a brand new prospect. And you'll be really shocked and surprised. I invite you to do this and listen to it yourself, but definitely send it to your upline or a coach, who's ever coaching you. You'll be surprised at what you're actually saying as opposed to what you actually think you're saying. The tonality, the things that you think you covered in detail but actually skimmed over, or vice versa. It's a really revealing process. I do it frequently. If ever I get an issue, I think, okay, why am I getting this objection? And I listen, I go, well, it's me. I'm talking about the price. I'm talking about it being a big deal to get started and all the rest of it. I'm putting that objection and they never even said it. So if you're getting that same objection, make sure you record an audio of yourself presenting as though you're going to a prospect, and you'll find it very, very revealing. That's a great coaching tip for you. And you can do the same with your invitation, with your closing, with anything. Anything you're struggling with, record yourself doing it, watch it back. You'll find that you can see yourself some significant points. Definitely you'll get a lot more if you send that to your upline or a coach, because they'll be, frequently have seen those same issues. So I hope you've got something from today. If you did, I'd appreciate some hearts so I can see that you did. I use the hearts as kind of like a thing to steer the content that I do, Chris has given us an objection. People say you like a pyramid. Okay, so we get this a lot, right, in our industry. We get this a lot in all of our companies, right? Sounds like a pyramid scheme. Is it a pyramid scheme? All the rest of it. And of course, it absolutely isn't if you're in a decent one. It's actually the opposite. Pyramid scheme, when I think of pyramid scheme, here's kind of like just some personal conversation here. When I hear someone say pyramid scheme, I think about a 9 to 5. That for me is a pyramid, right? People say, I go, what is a pyramid? Well, only the people at the top make all the money and people at the bottom have no shot and everybody makes off everybody else's efforts. I'm like, so what do you do for a living? Well, I work at Walmart. I'm like, okay, so Walmart has one, or it's a family, isn't it, I believe, who owns the company, right? Or a couple of directors, whatever, right? There's only 1 or 2 people ever at the very, very top of a company, right? And do they not make money off all of their staff's efforts? Of course they do. And is it any shadow of a thread of a possibility that the on-the-floor worker will ever be the owner of Walmart? No way. You can be the best Walmart employee that was ever lived. It's going to the son or daughter, isn't it, right? It's going to the son or daughter or the relative or charity, I don't know, whatever, right? But it ain't coming to you. So when people say pyramid to me, I go, oh, okay. And you can approach it kind of 1 or 2 ways. That's just my little take on it. Here's how I approach it, Chris, and here's how you can. Number 1, the exercise that I just gave you, make sure, listen to your invitation. Listen to what you're saying and make sure you're not making it sound like a pyramid. When I first started, I was so overly enthusiastic without having any skill, desperate really, when I first started because of money issues I used to have. I was making it sound too good to be true. So instead of doing what I was taught and what I now train on, which is, don't show them anything until you can show them everything, book an appointment, get some proper time to go through the steps. I mean, Chris, you're in my team, so I know you know these steps, right? 3-step setup, then we show the information, then we ask a close in a certain way. That works. So what I was trying to do was give a little bit of a presentation and tempt them too much in the invitation. You'll love this, it's amazing, and you can build a team, and when you do that, you can make money off other people, and maybe not quite as direct as that, but other over-enthusiastic terms I was throwing in there was leading my prospect to think, that sounds too good to be true. That sounds like one of those things. What's one of those things? Or those pyramid things. It was my fault. So make sure you're not injecting that doubt or that kind of terminology into their brain by what you're saying. So record your invitation first and foremost. If you listen back to your invitation, and you go, you know what, I didn't do that, that's a great invitation. So then you move on to the next step. Take a look at how their energy is when they say it. You know, if someone is saying that sounds like a pyramid scheme and they have a real desire to kind of learn more, I say, okay, that's interesting. Why would you say that? Why do you say that's a pyramid scheme? Because I want them to know if they're actually trying to be critical or not. They may just have caught the wrong end of the stick, and they may just think a pyramid scheme is just something where everybody makes money off each other. They may not actually know that it's an illegal thing that's really, really negative, right? It's like, you know, a crime. They may not know that. So I always want to give them the ability to kind of, you know, say what they want to say before I shoot them down. You know, if you got like rah into someone and they go, oh, sorry, I thought pyramid schemes were a good thing. You know, you don't want to do that. So I always ask them, that's interesting. Why would you say that? You know, or maybe, what do you understand a pyramid scheme to be? And why would you say this sounds like one? You know, and I'm openly want to wait for the answer. Now, if someone comes across with the sounds like a pyramid scheme, you know, you can tell by the language that they're just trying to be an idiot about it and try and put you down. I say, you know, when someone says something like that, I always remember, I believe it was Zig Ziglar, you train people how to treat you. So I want that person to know that that bullshit's not going to fly. Not with me, no siree. You don't insult my industry, because when someone insults my company, I take that as an insult to my entire team, the people that own the company, that are working their backsides off, me included, to get the message out there, the industry as a whole, all of you trying to, you know, I'm like, okay, right, you know, you're going to have both barrels, because I want to train you how to treat me in the future, and especially if there's other people around. A lot of times they're kind of like showing off, aren't they? Like a group situation. You know, someone will, you know, it's usually a guy, I know this is stereotypical, but this is my personal experience. It's usually a guy who doesn't have the life that he wants, wishes he had the backbone, I know this has something else beginning with B, but that's a little bit too far, right? Doesn't have the backbone to go out there and be an entrepreneur himself. So he wants to kind of dig at you for the person who's going out there. And there's that quote, I believe it was an American president, I believe. Was it Roosevelt? I can't remember. There's a quote. And it basically summarizes as saying, I'm really paraphrasing here, how he has more respect for the man in the arena than the one in the audience who's throwing the rocks. You know, it's so easy to stand on the sidelines and throw the rocks, isn't it? Without actually going in there and getting your feet wet. You know, reading all the books on how to swim but never diving in the pool. That's so easy to do. So it's the same in this scenario. So I want to let all those other people around know that, hey, don't be, you know, keep turned on with what I'm talking about, because it may be for you. This guy doesn't know anything. So I go, okay, that's really interesting. I'm just curious. What company am I in? And they won't know. Because when you talk to them, and they won't know. If you're marketing correctly, they won't know. And even if they do, maybe you walk around with all your gear on. I'd say, oh, that's really interesting. So how long were you in my company? And they're not going to have been, are they? If they're so negative about it, they'll say, well, I haven't been in the company. And you're going to, oh, okay, so you have a lot of proof that I'm guessing you have a lot of experience in the industry. Then maybe not even my company. And they're not going to be in network marketing. So they're going to go, well, no. And I would always make them answer those questions. So don't get dragged into letting them off the hook. Smile, eye contact, pause and wait. If you're not there in person, you can pause and wait, right? Let them fill the silence, because everyone's soon going to see who's got the upper hand. In communication, whoever asks the questions is the one in control. So I'm not going to get flustered. I'm saying, that's really interesting why you would say something so uneducated. So I'm guessing you have a lot of experience in my company then. And they're going to go, no. And I say, okay, so perhaps then the industry as a whole, you represent the industry, you have a lot of experience in the industry. And they're going to go, no. And I'm going to say, okay, so I'm confused. You need to help me here. I'm obviously not as bright as you. I'm being sarcastic now on purpose. So you know nothing about my company. You have no experience in the industry, yet you're speaking like you're an authority. I'm confused. I know that you're a plumber, whatever they do. I know that you're a plumber, right? If I went on Google and Googled plumbing and watched 2 videos and then tried to tell you about what your job looked like, how much weight would my opinion hold to you? I'm just curious. And they're going to go, well, none at all. And I'm going to say, well, exactly, because I don't know the slightest thing about plumbing, but I'm not as egotistical as you. Well, no, that's a little bit too far. Maybe that's my personality. I'd say, yeah, but I'm not, I guess I'm just not as brash to believe that watching a couple of videos or hearsay, because everybody's got an opinion, right? I'm just not brash enough to feel that, you know, I know everything about something that I actually know nothing about. I prefer to stick to the facts over opinions, because let's face it, everybody can volunteer an opinion, right? And depending on their reaction, I'm going to say, okay, so final thing, if I'm understanding you right, you've never been in the company, you've never been in the industry, you have no facts, only opinion, you've done very little research, you know nothing about it. So one or two things is happening here. You're either, for some strange reason, looking to be negative about what I do, which I don't know how that affects you, or you're just so egotistical that you believe that you have some kind of weight to volunteer opinion, which basically, let's not forget, I never asked you for. And that's what I do with someone like that. Now that's kind of I know that's my personality. Maybe some of you go, I can't be that rude to people. In my eyes, if I openly have already asked, like I said at the beginning, if I already asked them, hey, what do you mean by that? Once I know they're being insulting, my gloves come off. And that's just me. My gloves come off. I represent this industry. I represent my company. I represent my family and what it's done for us. The people who've helped me, my team members. I represent the people in the room who may be looking, who may be thinking, I want to do what Richard does. Oh no, it sounds like a scam. I'm representing all of that. And I take that very seriously. So when someone I know is openly insulting me, and you should do this too, don't settle for that. Clarify what they mean. Give them an opportunity to clarify. And when you know they're insulting you, then cleverly, without being over the top, but hold your ground, train them how to treat you. The very worst case scenario is they will never ever insult you ever again in your life. Believe me, one by one, all the people that got used to the person I used to be, when they had conversations with me like this, it soon started to change the way they treated me. Some of them didn't want to hang around me anymore. Good riddance. Some of them did. Some of them, there's that quote, right? You either have to change the people around you or change the people around you. That means your influence has to change their view of you and view of what you do, or you have to change the people you're hanging around with. And I like to divide people and see which side of the fence that they fall on. Something really curious happened the other day, which I'll finish with this. I kind of got a little bit longer than usual, right? I hope you got some value. I haven't spoken to a certain person in my life for quite a while. We're not super close. We're kind of distant family, I guess. You know, we're on good terms. But it's curious. We're friends on Facebook. Now, if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see everything I do is positive, isn't it? You'll see everything I do is positive. It's positive quotes. It's photos about spending time with my family. It's good, you know, speaking up about other companies, this industry, other people. Everything I do is to lift people up and to try and teach and help people. Now, all of that has been going on for years, and they've been my friend. And I know they're seeing their posts. Not one single comment, not one single like, not one single anything. Now, I put a post out there, I can't remember when it was now, which was basically about Black Friday, and I was saying, hey, listen, you know, the people around you, they don't want more stuff from you, they want more of you. They want to see you become a champion, and they want to spend more time with you. So take a look at what you're investing in right now. Are you investing in your future successful self, or just more stuff? You can have, if you've got the money, you can do both, right? But I just say, given the choice, we're always a population of buying stuff. Why not invest it in you? That was the general kind of consensus of my quote. And I capitalized the front letters of it. And what came out with comment was, oh, will you please learn how to capitalize your letters correctly? Now, I just thinking, how this just goes to show about people, you know, when you're going to train them how to treat you. See, everything I've put that's positive, everything I've done to try and help people, not one single comment. And even on that post itself, which is trying to lift people up and help them, that brought out a negative comment. Of all the things to comment on, right? Of all the things to say about that post about lifting people up, the comment was a negative jibe. You see it, right? The comment was a negative jibe about my grammar, or whatever you want to call it, right? I'm not great with English. I don't care. I want to get the message out there. And, you know, I was speaking to a family member about it. And she said, oh, I saw that. And I was like, hey, listen, I just really don't care. I really don't get aggravated by that kind of thing anymore. See, the reason I post that kind of stuff, and the reason I now talk in the way that I talk, and the reason I continue to try and be more confident and better at communication, it's an ongoing process, right, is I do want to divide people. The content that I put out there, like this Periscope, I'm looking to see who it attracts. Those are the people I want to spend and invest my time in. And if someone wants to come on a Periscope or on Facebook or on my email or anything to be negative, that's a disqualification for me. As much as you should be looking to qualify people for your business, for your message, for your personality, for your friendships, for your time and your energy and your heart, you should look to disqualify them as well. So don't be afraid to go out there and stamp on something in terms of put your mark on it with your opinion and see where the chips fall. This is what I do on my marketing. So I put a post out there like that. I got like 60, 70 likes on my page, right? I'm like, good, those are the people I'm glad that's helped. They like it. That's maybe giving them food for thought about that day. And then it disqualifies the people I don't want to spend time with or invest my kind of knowledge with who put that kind of comment, right? It just reveals all. But again, you'll see on that post, I train them how to treat me, right? I'm like, It's just so funny. And then they put another comment on about something else I replied to. I just put, I'll live. I mean, really, you've really got to, in fact, I'm going to do a video on this tomorrow. You've got to be mindful about where you put your energy into, who you put your energy into, right? In fact, let's do that tomorrow. Tomorrow is what? Wednesday, is it tomorrow? Wednesday's tomorrow, so I've lost the day. Unfortunately, I got 2 dogs, and unfortunately I had to have one put down at the vet's today, so I'm not my usual kind of perky-ish self Friday. It's not a nice thing to do that. He's been my best buddy through tough times. You know, he was there through my tough times, right? Even though he's only a dog, he's my friend, you know, so that wasn't an easy day. So I'm not quite sure what day it is, but I believe tomorrow is Wednesday. So tomorrow I'll do a Periscope live training about where you spend your energy and how you spend your time. But I think will really help you stay positive and help you to really learn how to be specific and build your business far quicker than perhaps you even imagine right now. You know, and a lot of you think, how can I invest my time more smarter? This will help you do that, you know. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, a lot of us have been there, right? A lot of us have been there losing pets. It's not an easy thing to do, but you know, part of an owner of anything is you know, at some point you've got to step up and say, you know what, the poor lad, he's not really enjoying himself anymore, he's got no quality of life, so you know, I'm in a position to help him with that. So it's just the same in anything in life, you know. I've learned to get as good a perspective as I can on everything in life, right? You know, nah, it's no fun, Sean, but he had a great life, right? I appreciate your messages, they're really kind of you. But he had a great life, you know. He was a rescue dog. We only ever take rescue dogs. And he had a great life. He was a miserable old dog, right? He was miserable right from the start till the end, right? But it was his time for definite. It was his time. As is our time for today, but I'll be back tomorrow. Let's go for 2 p.m. because then I know that I'll be free and that you'll be free, hopefully, as well. I'll see you then. And if you're listening to this, I'm going to take this audio and I like to put these on my podcast as well because, you know, I don't know where you prefer to receive my messages, in audio or on Periscope or on YouTube. So I like to spread this content around to serve you best. If you feel someone would benefit from this, you're welcome to share this with them. It'll be on my Facebook page instantly. You'll be able to do that. For now, I will catch you tomorrow. Go and get a day in life that counts. And remember, next time you see that, right, train someone how to treat you. You'll know, you'll get that feeling. You'll know when they're trying to trip you up or when they're trying to be clear. Clarify it and then train them how to treat you and then let me know how you feel about that, okay? I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.